Here we are again at Worlds 2011. It's day 3, it's modern, it's Simon Bertiou of Greece and his mcgsingles.gr shirt. Lovely to have you with us. Third Greek national team, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, and also, of course, Grand Prix top 8 in Barcelona. Brilliant, all right. So Simon's going to talk to us about his modern deck. It's a combo deck. And now, what do you call it? Sins of the Past?
I call it Sins of the Past because you can see this card, it obviously says Sins of the Past.
Past in Flames. Well, you've got the word past in there. This is a Past in Flames deck, boys and girls. And what we'll do is we'll start with a row of rituals. So let's just look up here, the 3 red rituals: Desperate, Pyretic, and Seething Song. So talk us through the sort of variations with these.
Okay, these are your basic rituals. You just build up a bit of your mana. They're not very good because they only add 1 mana. This is what you want to be chaining because it gives you 2 mana for a card, and you need to be building up mana. These are in the deck because they are arcane and they have a synergy with Ideas Unbound, which is also arcane.
Oh, okay. So let's just see there. There you go. Sorcery, arcane, and here comes the Desperate Ritual. That's also arcane, which means you can splice onto arcane. Remember, splice from back in Kamigawa block. All right. So.
Or if you have 2 of those, you just splice them.
Chain them together. All right.
That gives you extra mana, makes them like a Seething Song if you have 2 or more.
All right. So all of those are just about giving us more mana.
All of those are just about getting to 6 mana.
Right. Let's look at the next row. We've got Sleight of Hand, then Serum Visions. Along we go to the Phyrexian mana of Gitaxian Probe, Manamorphose, and finally Ideas Unbound. So let's talk along the row. This is all about finding the right cards.
Obviously you need to find a bunch of rituals and Sins of the Past in Flames.
Okay.
So these are basically just card filtering. Dig, 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 find what I need. This is making sure the cost is clear or just knowing what you're up against. But once you cast Past in Flames, I said it right?
Yeah, you did.
This becomes a 2-life draw card.
Yes, okay. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Manamorphose is obviously not a ritual, but it's probably the best ritual in the deck because it's a ritual that draws a card, woohoo, and builds you blue mana, which finds you more rituals, which gain you mana.
Okay, and then finally we have Ideas Unbound, and this is one of those cards that looks like it's got a big drawback. Discard 3 cards at end of turn. There isn't going to be an end of turn, is there? That's the idea.
There might be. I can just cast it on turn 2, discard a bunch of rituals in the graveyard, and when I have 6 mana, pay Past in Flames, and cast the rituals I discarded.
Okay, so let's get to the signature card of the deck. It is what Simon calls Sins of the Past, but is, of course, Past in Flames. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn, and the flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. And as we can see by moving further up the table, you can see all these card drawing that is just single blue, no, just life, essentially. And then up here, 1 and a red, 1 and a red. So everything's really rather cheap. Once you get Past in Flames, is it possible to lose?
Yes, it is. It's very hard, but it is, because Past in Flames only grants flashback to what is already in the graveyard.
Yep.
It doesn't grant flashback to the spells you play afterwards. It is very difficult, but it is hard. It's doable. For example, right now, I had to go off with 3 cards only on my turn 3 because my opponent had a clock, and I had to manually deal a storm of 22.
Yeah, and that was quite a long term. I watched it, and then I watched it some more, and you waded through half your deck, but you finally got there.
I got very unlucky.
Sure.
But
it can happen like that.
Yeah, it can happen.
Now, let me ask you about these cards, because this is the bit of the deck that seems slightly unusual.
Okay.
We've got 1 copy of Remand and 2 of Quicken, which is a card I've not seen played for a long time. This is from Ravnica block. The next sorcery spell you play this turn can be played anytime. You could play an instant, draw a card. So talk us through the 2 Quickens and the Remand.
Okay. This deck is soft to counter spells.
Okay, now when you say soft, do you mean it's very vulnerable to counter spells?
It's vulnerable to counter spells because you need to waste cards and then you need to resolve Past in Flames.
Yep.
If that doesn't happen, you're in a bit of trouble. So with pure control, that's okay because they have a slow clock, so you get some time to get more cards, go at it again because this was flashback.
Yep.
That's okay. The problem is Twin. Twin goes off at your turn, then he untaps and kills you. That's very bad, and he also has counter spells. Quicken is it makes your Past in Flame an instant,
Okay.
which means at the end of his turn, at the end of your turn, when he tries to play the Pestermite or the one for the Deceiver of Exarchs,
Deceiver Exarch, yeah.
you can just go Ritual, 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 Quicken, Past in Flames.
Okay.
Now Quicken is in the graveyard, it has flashback. You play some more rituals, Quicken, Grapeshot.
Okay, so Quicken is there to get you out of that counter spellbind. Talk us through the one Remand.
Remand probably should have been a Quicken. Quicken was a last minute addition. I couldn't find any more, but I tested with Remand. Remand is also very good because again it provides some protection against Twin, which is probably our worst matchup.
Well, let's not forget, Remand won Makihito Mahara World Championship in 2006.
You can Remand a Grapeshot as well. That like halves your storm count that you need to kill.
Now, ultimately, we've got 56 cards, and we haven't given you the kill, and that's over here, your Grapeshot. So Grapeshot is a storm spell, only deals 1 damage to target creature or player, but every spell that's happened before it during the turn, you make another copy. So, as you say, in that last game that we watched, you had to end up making essentially 22 Grapeshots.
Yeah, because I had tried out some Grapeshots in order to deal with his hate. So I just needed to manually reach 22 storm count.
Yeah, Grapeshot is an incredible card. It's a lovely deck. Let me take you through the mana base just quickly. I know you need these at home. A couple of islands, Singleton Mountain, 3 of the Cascade Bluffs, then your 4s. 4 Scalding Tarn, 4 Steam Vents, 4 Shivan Reef. And just before the next round starts, let's just show you Simon's sideboard up here. So we've got your 3 Pact of Negation, obviously. The turn you're going off, you just go, I tell you what, I really do want to resolve this Pact of Flames. Yeah, couple of Dispels, bit of counter magic. A very famous card from, if you like, the Dragonstorm archetype is Gigadrowse, Shattering Spree with Replicate. What's the one wipe away for?
The one wipe away is basically to deal with any kind of problematic permanent, because this deck digs a lot, and it's usually to bring in against some control decks that they plan to play 1 protection spell, then keep it in there, like Rule of Law or Leyline of Sanctity, stuff like that. And I really cannot afford to push through their counter magic with my Echoing Tours.
Sure.
That's their all wipe away plays, and it comes together with Gigadrowse. These are like a safety net against control decks that are not going to be playing Pact of Negation and will rely on other cards to stop me.
And then we've got a couple of Echoing Truth, a single Trickbind, and finally, if you want to make lots of 1/1s, empty the Warrens. So that is your Sins of the Past in Flames deck from Simon Bertiou of Greece in the mtgsingles.gr shirt. It's great to have you with us here at Worlds once again, and the very best of luck for the day at Modern. I'm your host, Rich Hagan, for Simon Bertiou, saying bye.